Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be giving you another Arduino tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you guys can use the analog write command in your project to do all sorts of things, like make an LED go brighter and lower, and make a motor go higher, make a motor speed go higher and lower. So without any further ado, let's get straight in with the video. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into the void setup. Actually, we're going to be clicking right here and we're going to be making a few just random spaces right here. And I think I'll make around 5. And so this is how we will make a variable. So this is how we will make a variable. So we will just do int, and it turns into the blue color to know, okay, this is a command that we know. And then we'll do int, we'll make a space, and then we'll type in maybe something like red. We'll do red. We'll do something like red. Yeah, we'll just do red. And then we'll do equal, and then we'll do 9. So when you're doing your project, make sure you have your Arduino has something on it. Has the you're using one of the pins that have a little curve mark on it. And all these numbers, most of the numbers are 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. So all of these numbers have a little squiggly, and if you're using the analog write, you can only use these commands. You can only use this command with those specific ones. So some of these you can use with anything. So we're just gonna do pin mode. So it turns orange because it knows, okay, this command, we recognize this command, and we'll put 2 parentheses, and we'll just do red, and that's the variable, and then we'll do comma, and then we'll do something like output. So now we have this here. So now now it knows, okay, so now I am ready to start. Okay, so then Arduino prepares itself to use the pin 9 as an output. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into the void loop. So whenever here, it only runs once. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into the void loop and be doing analog write. And why? So it would actually turn into a different color, but the thing I did here, so now it turns into orange because it recognizes it color. Now in the last video, I did digital write. So now what happened here? Okay, so I'll just So I'll just go down here and I'll just do enter. So now, okay, so I'll do analog. So if we did digital write, if in the last tutorial I did digital write, and that turned orange because it recognized that. Now the reason we're doing analog is because it's a different pin, and the analog pins work a little differently. So with the analog pins, it's just high and low. So either it's 5 volts or 0 volts. But here the analog, right? So for the analog write, what happens is the analog write. So for the analog write, what happens is it can change. So just not 1 and 5, it can go to 2, 3. So now, since now we know about that, we're going to make a new variable. And this will be called, so we'll just do int because it is an integer, which are whole numbers, not like fractions or anything. And I'll do wait. So we'll do analog write, and then we'll do red, and then we'll do comma, and then we'll do 255. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new number, and this will be called integer. So this is gonna be an integer, and I'll do red, and then I'll do volt, and then I'll do volt, and then I'll do an equal symbol, and then from here. So now if I change the number here to 6, then this number is changed to 6. And so that's why we're using variables. It makes changing things a whole lot easier. So I'm going to do volt, and I'm going to make it this 300. So I'm going to do 300. But the thing is, if I do 300, it won't work. It's because the maximum is the minimum is 0 and the maximum is 255. So 0 corresponds to 0 volts. 255 does not correspond to 255 volts. This corresponds to 5 volts. So the reason that changed it is because Arduino's calculations are a little bit different for when they made it, so they just kept it like that. So 125 volts would be around 2.5 volts. So 125 volts are around 1.5 volts. So this is an integer. So this number is an integer. So we don't have to use another command, which is called float. Float is when this number would actually be something like point whatever. So but here we are using an integer. So we would just do int. So now we're just gonna go down here, and then I'm just gonna type in volt. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to add a delay. So I'll just go here, and then I'll do delay, and then I'll do 2 parentheses, and now we're gonna make one more variable, which is called int, and we'll do wait, and we'll do equal symbol. And we will do something like maybe we'll do 300. So then we can see the noticeable difference. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do volt. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, and then I'm going to copy paste it. So I'm going to do Control X and then Control V. And then I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to do it one more time. So now what we're going to do to change the voltage on how much is coming through the pin. So I'm just gonna do 9 here. So I'm gonna make I'll make this I'll make this 0. I'll make this 50, and then I'll make this 150. And since our maximum is 255, we'll make this 255. So now we have all our numbers, and so now what I'll do is, so this is actually the weight. So this weight should actually be 3,000. So 3,000 doesn't mean 3,000 seconds or minutes. This actually means milliseconds. So the milliseconds, 3,000 milliseconds are actually equivalent to 3 seconds. So I'm just going to do enter and then oops. So now I'm just going to do enter, and I'll do Control V, and now I'm just going to do, and now I'll make this 125. So now I'll do wait right here. So the reason it doesn't recognize this command is because it's a variable. Variables can always change, so it just won't change any color. So now what we'll do is we'll change. So now you can see the volt is all the same. So that's a problem. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to do volt 1, volt 2, and then I'll do volt 3, and then we'll do volt 4. So now we have this. So now what I'll do is now you can just copy paste this in here. So you could just do. So now what we'll do is, instead of doing this, what we can do is we can actually just take all of this, and there's around there's around 4. So now we have 3 already. So now I'll do 4. So now I'll do volt 1, volt 2, volt 3, and I'll do enter, and I'll do volt. So this should be volt 3, and here we'll do volt 4. So now there's actually a total of 5. So now what it'll do is it will repeat this all over again because it is the void loop. So now actually so before you do any command here, you actually have to add a semicolon before everything. So that should Okay, so I've added all the semicolons here. So now, so now we have all of our so now we have all of the we have all the code here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna we're just gonna go into tools, and we're gonna click on one of your ports. So mine is on the COM3, and make sure your board is on the correct board. I'm using the Arduino Uno. So now there's many Arduinos you guys can choose, but I'm using the Uno, which is kind of the classic one. And now that we have all of this, what we're going to do is we're just going to click upload. It might ask you to save this. I'm just going to cancel. And now you can see there's a green bar. And so I accidentally did wait 4 here by accident. So now what we'll do, so I guess that wasn't existing. So now I'll delete this one, and now if I do it, so what the mistake that I did was I put wait 4 here, and then I thought it was one of these. So you also have to delete one red volt and the delay. So now if I do upload, I'll just cancel this. And oh yeah, and I forgot to add the semicolon here. So now if I do save, as you can see, it says the sketch was working, and it's working totally fine. So it says done uploading, otherwise it'd be red like it was before. So now I'm going to show you how you guys can wire up your program. Tinkercad, and I've copy pasted all the code into the Tinkercad code editor. So here in Tinkercad, we can use this to have virtual simulations of our Arduino. So now what I'll do is I'll just get a book. So now I'll show you how you guys can wire it up, and it's pretty simple. So all we'll do is I'll click on the Arduino, and I'll click on this, and then I'm going to keep clicking on this until I get it how I want. So actually what we can do is, so I'll just click on this, and yeah, this should be fine. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and then we're going to click on the GND pin, and then I'm just going to make a straight line, click, make a straight line, click, and then I'm just going to make a straight line. Yeah, so I'm just going to do Control Z, and all the line will be gone. So now I can just make my line over again. So what you want to do is I'm just going to make this line over here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the ground pin right here. So now what I'll do is I'll just click on this. So now I'm going to go now I chose pin 9 because it has that little squiggly there, if you can see it. So now I'll just cross this one, I'll bring it right here, I'll bring it right here, and then, so I'll just do Control Z. So now I'm just going to bring here, so no, not pin 13, pin 9. So now I just bring it right here, then I'll bring it right here, click, then I'll bring it straight to now I'll just bring it right here. So now what I'll do is I'm just going to scroll down, and then I'm going to go get a LED. So now I have an LED right here. So since this is the 9 pin, so this is the pin that I want. So now what I'll do is I'll just keep the resistor right here. So now I'll click on this, and I guess I don't think I actually really do need a resistor. So actually, yeah, we might need a resistor. So and I'll just check resist. So not here. So we'll go back, and then I'll get the resistor. So I'll do the resistor, and I'll just bring it right here, and then I'll just flip it. So now I'll bring it right here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a resistance of around maybe, I don't really want that much resistance, maybe just 100 ohms. Not kilo ohms, but normal ohms. So ohms is a measurement of resisting current. And so now what I'm going to do is I am actually going to Control Z, and then I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to flip it. So it does look a little weird. So now this will be connected to the analog. So now if I start the simulation, say it's initializing, so it'll take a while before it pops up. So now you can see there's a brightness. I'll just zoom in, and then it went brighter. And then, yeah, so I'll do stop simulation and I'll start it. So it says it'll take a bit. So, okay, so 1, 2, 3. And now we went brighter. 1, 2, 3. And so, yeah, so it actually went brighter, and then I'm not sure if you guys can see it. So I'm just going to go into the code. So, yeah, so the code actually had a problem with it. So it actually decreased, and I'll do 255. So now if I start the simulation, it should work. So now it's 1, 2, 3. It went brighter. 1, 2, 3. It went brighter. 1, 2, 3. It just went down to 0. So that's just gonna. So the wait is 300 milliseconds, which is equal to 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, it's going to change. So this is how you can use analog. You can use the analog term, the analog command in your code. So I hope you guys learned something from this video and you implement it in your projects. So as usual, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Bye.